Thank you, Mr. Chair, and welcome, Senator Formica.
Thank you, Senator.
We've certainly had our differences of opinion on the gambling issue, but let me say that I've always admired and have respected your relentless passion in advocating for your community. That is unmistakable, and I want to simply say that because in our many discussions, the people of New London to Niantic should know how hard you fight for them. So you deserve tremendous credit and advocacy, just as my colleague standing right next to me, Senator Austin, does too. But just like your advocacy, I also want to acknowledge the people and colleagues in this General Assembly from other towns, from Bridgeport, for the good people that are advocating and fighting for their communities, and to give some of their perspectives and thoughts. So it's equally important that we recognize and acknowledge their efforts on behalf of their community. That being said, we have a very difficult task in this General Assembly to evaluate all the information. But I see this committee's role as one that takes all the information that we have, and we have an important task of deciding what is in the best interest of all the people in the state of Connecticut. And that being said, I also want to take a note that sometimes it doesn't get heard from the real passionate and it seems the strong interest of people on both sides of the issue. Sometimes it gets lost from the real grassroots people of individuals that are concerned about the societal cost of gambling, the gambling addiction, and the impact on those communities. I recognize that this is a part of our state. This is part of our economic as well as our job future. But that being said, I think it's really important that as we explore expansions of not only additional casinos, but also looking at sports gambling and all the other avenues of the internet gambling, that we do not ignore some of the potential impacts of gambling expansion, and that we do, as we raise this issue and as we expand gambling, that we do our part to ensure that those that get impacted by gambling addiction have the necessary financial resources, counseling support that are necessary. So again, I just want to applaud your passionate advocacy for your community, and it needs to be recognized. And that being said, I feel the same way for my Bridgeport colleagues that may be testifying later on today. But I also want to ensure that the voices get heard from the people that are speaking for those that have their lives turned upside down by gambling addiction. They also need to be heard in this equation as well. So I want to thank you for your time on this. And again, I want to finish. It is important for people to know how hard you and your colleagues have fought for your constituents, and is to be admired for that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Representative Duff.